All right, everybody, welcome to Elite Zone Live. Once again, I'm here with Miss or Mrs. I should say, Shauna Stevens. Shauna, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, and I'm stoked because the episode today is going to be a good one. Hopefully, we can it's all about small moves, big impact. So these are going to be time saving marketing wins for the busy real estate agent out there. We get it. Busy real estate agents, you guys don't want more complexity. You want quick, efficient actions, things that, can increase your visibility, get you more leads, manage transactions better and lead nurture and things like that. So we're going to go over some of the tiny or smaller tweaks and habits that can create exponential results over time. And there we are. So, yeah, I mean, look, to kick it off, do you hear agents say, you know, that's too much work. This is too hard, or it's too much, right? Like I already have so much going on already that I can't add anything else to my plate right now.
Yeah, I mean, we hear a lot of time, and it gets frustrating or struggle being in that position, right? As a real estate agent, we understand you are a business owner. You got to build relationships, you got to prospect, you got to build visibility, you got to market, you got to do the accounting, you got to do like you wear all these hats, right? But there is possibility out there, and sometimes we allow it to cloud our mindset and bring us down like I can't do that. I got to do this. And um I want to say that you can. Like there is different ways and possibility, and it doesn't have to be daunting and overwhelming. Um
Hmm.
what has
Yeah,
been
we
your
we
feedback on that?
Yeah, no, the same thing, and I think that part of the reason why we're at this place is because with tech, with AI, with systems, with all of that, it's like they were designed to make things easier, right? But the sheer volume of different services and products, I think agents are bombarded with this stuff
Oh,
all the time.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why, like at Agent Elite, the primary thing that we push is like, look, yes, get the systems, make sure they're in place, but it's not going to replace the foundational work that you have to continue to do. Like that's going to stay in place. So, we want to make sure that there's no misconception that like, oh, yeah, okay, if I get a new smart CRM, then I don't have to be adding, 5 leads a day. I don't have to make as many sales calls. I don't have to do, the face to face
Yeah.
getting out there, you know what I mean? Which I mean, and
Yeah.
that's look, I'm a marketer. I look for that stuff all the time. I'm always like, how could I save time on this? But then what ends up happening is I get 3 different subscriptions to 1,200 different tools, and then I'm like, I make it harder for myself. So,
Yeah. That's a good
you
point.
know,
What we do, we do. We are humans and we want the instant gratification. We want to look for things that are going to help make it easier. And sometimes what we do is we end up adding this or doing this or doing this. And the next thing you know, we become overwhelmed going,
hmm,
I just made it harder on myself. And where's the KISS method of like keep it super simple, right? And so it's stripping certain things away, deleting things in our process, and a constant self-evaluation on what we're doing is what we're seeing agents, really stepping back and succeeding. It's the same thing if you want to get healthy, you want to stay in shape, you want to be fit, you want to do this. You need a simple routine of
hmm,
this is what I eat, this is what I do, this is
hmm,
everything that I handle, right?
yep,
And instead of, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the gym and work out 2 hours every single day. I'm not gonna miss any workout ever. I'm gonna only eat 1,200 calories a day, and it's only going to be rice, chicken, veggie. Like when we do that, it we can do it for a small amount of time, but then we get bored and we go, well, this isn't sustainable. And now I got to switch. And
yep,
next thing you see is like, that's where you see those, what is it, like jumpers that jump from one fad to the next. And in
yes,
reality, a lot
exactly.
of times what we're doing for ourselves is we're actually pushing the goal further and further away because it's like
Yeah.
I have to now relearn this, retool this, redo this.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and sometimes we have to like
Totally.
look in the mirror and be like, wait, no, stop. Just focus on
Yes.
making what I'm doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
No,
how do you do that
yeah,
though?
no, I mean, I exactly. And that's the question is how. And I think the first step is looking at your business plan and saying, how can I make this more simple? Like this is what I'm doing. Here's my current setup. Is there a way to make it more simple? And if
Yeah.
so, how? You know what I mean? And not jumping to what additional tools can I get, but even like, do I even need that? Right? Do I even need like, do I use a simple notes app or do I have to get 4 AI schedulers that feed me
Yeah.
notifications for every, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying what's right for you is right for you, but some small wins. This is the first small win. And we have a local presence tool that helps real estate agents build up their reputation in local areas, right?
Hmm.
And we talk about this because local SEO is really important. Real estate agents, you guys want to show up on, real estate agent near me or homes in this area. You want to rank for that. So like literally adding one new photo, a property, a community, a photo of you in the community, or even a selfie, just anything, adding one new photo to your Google business profile every week is a super small thing, but Google rewards consistency. And we talk about this reward of consistent action. So if you're consistently adding new fresh content, even if it's not, doesn't have to be like some crazy amazing video, or but just keep things moving. That can help a lot. And posting an update, responding to a review, just making it a habit to go into your Google business profile and just update that weekly. It would take less than 15 minutes a week to do that. And over time, I feel like that would be definitely beneficial. And we can help manage that kind of stuff, but without any concierge services, I think that's a great start. What do you think?
I do agree. Like a lot of it is, you know, picking an action and making that action the goal, right? And I think I've said it before, but it's like when we make the result that we want to achieve the goal, it becomes hard to achieve, right? Or it doesn't always get hit. And that's where a lot of time what we're seeing is clients are actually and agents are actually having more success when they take an action and make it the goal. So to kind of piggyback off what you said is like update a photo, you know, or 2 once a month. Like, write that down as that action is your goal and set it on a repeatable calendar, task,
Hmm.
right? Add 3 leads a day, 5 days a week. That action is the goal. That is the strategy, that is the goal. Because we know if you follow that consistent action of keeping that pipeline building, you are going to see a bigger result happen.
Yep, 100%. So both of those micro wins. Posting to Google My Business and update a picture, a piece of content once a week, and yes, adding your 3 leads a day. So
Mhm.
yeah, you've got and for me, like what I do is I have like here's my monthly things I have to do, here's my weekly things I have to do, and here's the daily things I have to do, and then list those out into check boxes, and you can use Trello or whatever, Monday, Asana, ClickUp. There's all kinds of
There's so many
different
different tools,
tools,
like,
right?
figure
But if
out
you got
which
to
one
write
works
it
for
down,
you.
just write it down. Yeah, if you want to use a notepad, that's fine, right? Just
Yeah.
have them in front of you. So I love that. Another thing, and this is huge, right? Because I assume that everybody knows this, and I'm always surprised when somebody's like, "Oh, well, wait, I can do that." Um, Uploading your full database and tagging them in your CRM. Tags,
Mhm.
past clients, buyers, sellers, hot leads, cold leads. Putting a tag for this neighborhood, that neighborhood. Like using tags is very, very simple. Once you get the hang of it, but you can literally segment out everybody in your CRM. And then once you do this, when you add a new uh, contact, you tag them like right off the bat. Like, I'm out in the community, I met somebody, by the church on First Street in, Naperville, Illinois, which I'm trying to break into that market. So, contact name, phone, email if they give it to you. Met outside of the church in Naperville, talked about, like, there's a little, you can put notes, little contact record to put notes in there, and then tag them, what segment is this? And when you do that, when you look at the broad scope of it, you have intel on people. So then you know how to market to them more efficiently. What do you think?
No, absolutely. Like a CRM is only good, or a note system, or whatever you're using is only as good as the data you keep updated, right?
Hmm.
And if you're not updating it or moving them along from one thing to the next, like the system doesn't know how to push them to the next step. Yes, you can have some automation, you can have those things, but it still needs your usage, your internal kind of updates, and to learn what it is that you like, and learn what it is that you're searching for. You still have to you work your database, right? It's just like when somebody, buys a car. The car is not going to drive itself. The car is not going to refill gas itself, right?
Hmm.
You still have to do some of the maintenance and work.
Yep.
Yes, I can argue the point of like a Tesla with, self-driving capabilities, right? But you still have to be the one behind the wheel. You still have to be the one pushing buttons. You still have to be the one that remembers to charge it. You still, like, there is still things that you have to do, right?
Yep.
And so what we're seeing is with those successful agents, they're doing those little things, right? They broke down their calendar and time block, right? They added the one tool, but learned how to master it and keep it updated, right? They are
Hmm.
adding the content, right? We talk about 5,000 words being that magic number of content in a month. Well, it doesn't have to be this daunting task. It's the micro pieces that you're talking about.
Yes.
5,000 words could be, I went into my Google profile twice a month and updated this here. That's part
Yep.
of it. And
Yep.
added a blog post once a week here. Or
Yep.
I updated a social post here, went in and talked about it, right? So if you look at 5,000 words, seems daunting, but when you break them down into those micro tasks in your system, it's very achievable. It's
Yep.
what becomes overwhelming sometimes is like, well, I got to do 5,000 words, and then I need to keep this updated here, but then I got to do this over here, and then I got to don't take it down, and let's to-do list, task it out, right?
Right. Because if you don't, it's overwhelming, which is that, like, the next point. And this is like, um, this is a big one because I run into this. In fact, I'll tell just a super small story, but I've got a client, that wanted to put together, this is in Go High Level. This is just a workflow for, they meet somebody at a conference, they drop them into Go High Level and tag them, conference workflow. And they wanted a workflow that, triggers it, sends them an email, sends them a text, waits a few days, sends them the next email. And like, so I mapped this out and I made it so it was really cool, but really intricate and unnecessary. And my client was like, hey, man, look, like, I love all this stuff, but realistically, I need to keep this more simple. So let's cut way back. Like, we don't need all the internal notification. Like, so basically took what I had and just made it a lot more simple. And as I reworked it and then I did it, I'm like, okay, this actually makes a lot more sense. I wanted it to be like, I'm going to make this rock solid. So like everything goes through perfectly. But the thing is like, it doesn't, if you look at something and it's overwhelming, make it simple and just start somewhere simple, right? And
Yeah,
then as you learn more, then you can add the intricacies. But I feel like agents will look at this and be like, "Oh,
too
right
much.
off the
I don't
bat,
know.
you lost me. Right, you
The
lost me. I'm
It's
done."
change, right? It's like it doesn't look familiar. It's not what I've always been doing. I have to update or learn something, right? But you kind of touched on something like I wanted it to be perfect. But that's subjective. What is perfect to you isn't to the next person, and is really perfect achievable,
Right.
right? And so while perfect isn't achievable, if we strive to achieve it, like that's where excellence is built, right? But if we look at that perfection part, marketing is never perfect and it's ever changing based on consumer tendency and habit. So you have to look at it as progression and iterations, right? And so let's add one thing and then look at it, step back. What is one little thing we could tweak to make it better? And
Hmm.
then break it down from there. But you hit on it. We want to do everything and all of everything at once sometimes instead of like, and that's where sometimes people get that paralysis and analysis paralysis,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
They don't do
And
anything then.
and then you don't do anything. You're like, I can't do this. I'm not doing it. What's going on? Right. And so we kind of live in this era where you've got people that are all or nothing over here. And it's either you're all of it or you're
Yep.
nothing. How do you find
Yep.
that balance where you're a little bit, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of this, and it's like
Yes.
even keel?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why, you know, going through your CRM and adding like one or two tags to specific contacts and just starting there, getting used to it. But the cool thing is that if you do this and you do build the muscle and it's not that hard and you tag appropriately, then you know, if you're using a solid CRM or if you're an agent elite client, I mean, you can automate you know, listing alerts and save searches,
Yeah,
and you can automate emails and things like that much easier and much more effectively because you're segmenting who I'm trying
your
to
client
reach.
base. Absolutely. Right.
So the small things every day, make sure I'm adding my tags on there.
Hmm.
Then in a year when you look back and you're like, okay, now I've got, you know, 600 people on my potential
Yeah,
seller list. Okay, you know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely. And so like that's where like we have a mobile app for our clients. And
Mhm.
so it makes it easy because we don't expect you to be in front of the computer 24/7. You're an agent, you're on the go. Your
On the
office is
go.
typically in the car, right?
Yes.
So take your CRM where you go, but the biggest thing is like we created it more simplistic for everybody, right? Meaning when you open it, you're like, oh, it doesn't do a whole lot. No, it does the basics of what you need it to do. It's the foundational piece. You don't need all these bells and whistles where people are like, I want a dialer, and then I wanted to do this, and then I wanted to send a
Yeah.
recipe, and I wanted to make my grandma's cookies and send them this. Like, you don't
Right.
need all of those things. You need a basic
Right.
system that it's like that you can follow the daily habits on, right? And
Right.
so our a lot of what we do is follow a strategy of 5-3-1, right? And and it alerts you. The mobile app will send you nudges and alerts, meaning, hey, Max, you still have time today to get in and make your 5 contacts. Hey, Max, you still got time today to come in and make your three, you know, um, add your 3 leads, right? You've got to be able to go in and do those types of system checks and add leads as simple as just adding 3 leads a day,
Yep.
right?
100%. 100%. I love that. I love that. So moving on from that, you know, updating your Google business profile weekly with a piece of content, a picture, uploading your full database and just making sure you're adding your tags, couple of small things that add up. Another thing that popped up, and personally, I want your take on this because I don't do this, and I might want to start, but it's using video replies instead of long texts.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's like Bomb and there's different tools like that. But sometimes, you know how there's when there you can do speech to text or send
Yeah.
an audio note, right? Like record, hey Shauna, hey, I saw that you were just checking out 123 Fake Street, and
Mhm.
you know, that's my listing. Just dropping you a little audio message here. Get back to me, you know, when interested, and then send it that way, or send a little video or something like that. I personally
Yeah.
haven't done that, but I think that you know, that could be a way to, if you're on the go, which agents are, and you're doing multiple things, to speak it or to say it. And agents are used to talking to people, right? They're used to engaging with people. So
Yeah, I
what do you
think
think?
that what a lot of these tools have done is take away from the personalization and that relationship building. And it's like, how can I automate this and get it out to the masses, as opposed to how can I show my unique value and really connect with someone, right? And
Hmm.
so I firmly agree. Like, be unique, be out there. Like, if you look at a text message, if you and I both responded to somebody via text to them liking a listing, and we just text back. Like, what is the differentiator? Where's the tone? Where's the excitement, right?
Yeah,
And sometimes a
exactly.
lot of what happens is like tonality gets lost in reading a text versus having a conversation, right? If you read
100%.
a text, it's going to be read in the tone of what that person's mood is currently. So if somebody's a little
Yeah.
frustrated or has anxiety and they're just looking around and they read, "Hey, I just wanted to connect," they could be, "Hey, I just wanted to connect. Hey, I just wanted to
Yeah.
connect. Hey, I just wanted to connect." Like, it comes
You
across
don't
through the
know.
mindset that somebody's in when they read it, right? But now I want you to take it a step further, like you said, and be that agent that's like, sends a video. "Hey, Max, Shauna Stevens here. I'm the real estate agent you reached out to. My listing is ABC3," whatever it is. It's like now they get to see, like, maybe you made someone's day because you smiled. Maybe you stood out in their mind. You have to remember everything that you're doing as an agent is to take up mind share of of the prospects out there, the consumers, right?
Yep.
So I think it's a
Totally.
very great idea to use that. Now, what happens though is some people go, "Oh my god, I don't have time to make this message." But you have time to sit there and type it out.
Yeah, it's
What's the difference of
faster.
you just taking it out and be like, "Hey, thank you so much. I'd love to connect. Drop me a line, yada yada yada."
Yeah.
It's funny because I have this group thing with, like, some close friends, and really my sisters, my family, of like, we call it Waffle Wednesday. And
Okay.
it's just this like chat. We go in every Wednesday and we do like a 2-minute video download of what's been going on with our lives, what's going on here, how's the kids,
Oh, I
how's the
love
family,
that.
and we just do a 2-minute update. And we really try to focus on not the day to day, because sometimes with family, like, you might talk to them or you might, forget things because you're going through stuff. And it's just about like, where are you at? What's going on in life? How are you? And it's just this quick little, you get to see us. And sometimes we're doing it late at night, like, "Hey guys, I forgot, like, this is what's going on." Or, "Hey, the kids got this going on. Hey, this." And it's just a different connection than just a text of "How are you?" A
Right.
call of "Hi."
Yes.
And it's a group one, so we all 4 of us are seeing it and seeing what's going on. And then, what we realized is then what we did was responsive is we wrote back in a a voice text, "Hey, I love that. I love that you're going, oh, I'm sorry you're going through this," instead of just like a text
Yeah.
or an
Well, and
emoji.
what that just made me think of too is like, you know, if if I was looking for, like looking in an area or something like that. Like, let's say I go to Shauna, I land on your website and I check
Yeah,
out a specific listing. And you either one, you pick up your phone or you text or email, you're like, "Hey, Max, saw you were checking this out. I'm the agent, X, Y, and Z. I'd love to connect and talk more." Or if you're like, "Hey, Max, what's going on? Shauna Stevens, that's my listing there. Look, here's 5 things about that area you're going to love. I always go to this coffee shop over at X, Y, and Z. I'm not sure exactly what you're interested in about the neighborhood, but I want to connect with you so I can see because
right? Imagine that connection.
you're like, this is like my own personal neighborhood tour. Like, I'd love to give
Like,
you a tour of it. I'm down here right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it just shows, it would be easier to speak that than it would to sit and text.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So and for somebody that's live, like when you have your Agent Elite mobile app and you get that live ping that says this person is looking at this listing now, right?
yeah.
And then within 5 minutes, speed to lead, right? Talk about that all the time. Within 5 minutes, you shoot this little video and you text that person. That might be your next deal right there.
It
You
could,
don't know,
absolutely.
right?
It could absolutely be there. The biggest thing is like, how do you create that as a habit for
Yes.
yourself?
Yep.
Because a lot of times what you'll be is like, "Oh my God, Max, like, that sounds great. I'm gonna do it. Thank you for the idea." You do it once or twice, and then because it wasn't your routine, you fall back into what was easy. What was
Hmm.
this? And real estate isn't easy. We know that, right? And so how do you help and how do you create that habit, I guess, is really more of like what we need to be asking ourselves, but helping agents
Yeah.
with.
Right. And for me, like that comes down to the value of coaching.
Yeah.
And getting help with that kind of thing. And I know that brokerages have coaches and programs and all of that kind of stuff, and that's all well and good. But yes, the value of a coach is absolutely priceless. So
Hmm.
I know that personally, I need people that are like, hey, dude, just reminding you, like, you're better than this, right? Like, it's not like you committed to this and you didn't do it, you're a piece of crap. But it's more, it's hey, I know you can do it, you're better than this, you created these habits for a reason. And so it's just having somebody gently hold me accountable. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, so next time you're on this, guys, like, think about, the benefit of speed and authenticity and energy that you might be able to
Yeah.
deliver a lead by shooting a quick video and texting it as
Hmm.
opposed to typing out the text.
Yeah. And the
All
other
right.
thing around those on the lead side is like having the mindset and the understanding that we know just because we get a lead today that they're not ready to necessarily buy or sell, but it is our job to help them and walk them through that journey. And what better way to do that than seeing your face and knowing that you're there to support and guide them through anything. And so that you are the one that they choose when they're ready to make that decision, right? And
Hmm.
so it's the same thing as like you're not going to doing these little steps isn't going to get you to instant gratification, but it is going to set you up for success for the long-term
Hmm.
gratification.
Hmm. Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, so the next small win that you can do as an agent. Hopefully, you guys are writing your blog content. We talk about
Mm,
the 5,000 word each month, but repost it to Facebook and LinkedIn and Google My Business. Like, drop the link in there. Now, if you do this, I know that Meta doesn't necessarily like when you link out to other places because they want to keep you there. But here's the thing: is adding that content on LinkedIn, adding that content on Facebook or in a community, in a Facebook group, things like that. Like, you don't know who might see it, you don't know who might read it, and if you're consistent, after a while, even if nobody clicks it, they might continue to see that and just be like, man, this person is always adding new valuable information. So, I'm gonna engage with this person now.
mhm.
So, you know, copy paste a paragraph or a sentence of your blog with, a little image, the thumbnail
Yeah.
image. And if anybody wants to know how to set all that stuff up, hit us up, DM us, give us a call. But yeah, I mean, we have content distribution and concierge services that can do this for you. But in all actuality, guys, and don't fire me, Shauna, you probably don't need it. I mean, it doesn't take that long if you learn the habits of writing your blog and systemize it. I'm going to create
Yeah.
it with ChatGPT's help. I'm going to put it into my Agent Elite website or wherever my website is. I'm going to publish it, and then I'm going to grab the link and boom. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of places you can even automate that. So when you publish it, it will give you an option like,
There's a
do you
lot of
want to
different
share this to Facebook? Right?
ways, right? A simple link will help you do it. Yes, absolutely. You can do it yourself. The reason we created concierge packages, like even on our side, is because we understood that agents want to buy back their time. And all we're
Yes.
doing on the concierge is the same thing that we coach and train you, except for we're doing it for you so you save yourself the 10 to 20, 30 hours a
Yep.
month that
Absolutely.
right? And don't think it's going to take you 10, 20, 30 hours, right?
No.
If you're
Right.
starting, it can be a couple hours, but as you gain traction and you're building it, you're going to want to do more and more because you're going to see how many agent or how many clients you're making happy and connecting with and
Right.
getting them the opportunity to find their dream home, right?
Yes. Well, and a lot of the, like top agent clients will learn these systems and then implement them. And then when business starts getting better and better, then
They
they're like,
delegate it
hey,
off.
exactly. Then they go, "Hey guys, I love concierge. Do all of this for me because I'm busy. I'm closing deals, and I need to focus on the stuff that
The
only
fun
I
part,
can do."
right? Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
In the
So
beginning,
that's
it's just like building a business in general, right? Is you have to do and wear multiple hats and do everything at once. But then as things pick up, you get to start going, hey, look, I know I'm better with relationship building and I have to be the one doing this because that's what my license is for. I don't want to do this marketing. I don't want to write content anymore. I don't want to like it was cool and I
exactly.
got it to where it needs to be, but now
Yep.
I need to focus more here.
Yep.
That's how
And and
you
and
build it.
I can do that because the fruits of my labor that I was taught
Are
paid
paying
off.
off.
So now
Yeah.
I can say, yes, here's the monthly fee for blog concierge. Yes, I want to do meta ads. No, I don't want to spend all the time doing the targeting and the legwork myself. I'd much rather have you do that. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. I'm good, right? So
Yes, I
that's the
need a
value of it.
second set of eyes auditing leads, making sure safe
Yes.
searches are set up there, right?
Yes.
So it's many facets, but there are tools and services that help you achieve it. What we've seen doesn't work though is when agents go, I want this website from this company, this one from here, and this does this here, and this next thing you know, they are pooled to death, competing against themselves because they're using so many different things, right? And that's how we just want to help you simplify it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's really like if I had to break down how I want what I want real estate agents to think about when they think about Agent Elite is we have everything that you need to know and we will teach it to you. Yes. But we can also do it for you. Not
Yeah,
everything,
not
but a
everything.
lot of it we can do for you, right? So it's not just like here's all the stuff, see you later. It's here's all the stuff, here's how you do it. We'll get in the trenches with you. But hey, if you're good and you want us to handle this, absolutely, we can do that for you. So it's done with
Absolutely.
you, done for you. Like we've got, both options covered. So
We even have done by
awesome.
you.
Yeah, okay. So what's done by you?
It's maybe you're a self-starter and you only want to use our KB that teaches you how to do it. You always have the capability of going in
Ah,
and doing it yourself, right? But we
got
also
it, got it.
pair our client success managers, account managers with our clients, and you always have customer support you can call in and ask questions, and that's the done with you, right? Hey, yeah, you
Mhm.
can do it. Here's how you do it. Here's the steps to do it. We'll teach you, show you, consult
Yep.
you, strategize. But some people just don't have the time or want to buy back their time to focus on other things or focus on
Yeah,
more family and everything
yeah,
because and that's where the done for you kind of comes in, where it's like, okay, we can take this off your hands and do it here, do it here, do it here.
totally. Awesome. Love that. All right. So this next one now, this is like possibly, and this is all subjective, but this may be the most powerful, simple thing that you can do that's going to pay off the most for you in the long run if you're consistent, in my opinion. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, ask for a positive review after every single deal is closed and start the asking process in the transaction. So I always tell agents, like, hey, just remind them a couple times, hey, once this is over and I've created a raving fan out of you, and you're like, oh man, I want to work. I loved working with Max. I'm going to ask you for a review. So I'm just letting you know that when this is done and you're super happy, you're also like planting that seed, right? Like when this is over and you're in your new house and you're out back on that patio doing yoga and you're happy. I'm just reminding
Yeah,
you. I'm going to ask for a positive, a 5-star review, and don't be afraid to say I'm going to ask for a 5-star review because that's putting forth the confidence that I give 5-star service. Why wouldn't I ask for a 5-star review?
yeah,
If you do that every time, and I hear agents like, well, I don't want to bother people. They might think that's annoying that I'm asking them to go. Like, if it's a good experience, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to have
eh,
no problem doing that for
absolutely.
you.
When you look at reviews and everything, and especially since COVID, we've seen that an influx of negativity has been put out there because why people are more inclined to discuss and continuously speak about the negative
Negative
interaction
things.
they had,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Oh my God, I can't believe this happened, because that feeling hurts, and
I
it's
gotta
it's
get
it's
it out.
live. I've got to get it
I
out,
gotta
and I
tell
got to tell
somebody about
everybody,
it.
right?
Get them on my
And
side.
so it almost takes like 20 positive to counteract one negative. And
Mhm.
it's sad, but that's the reality that we're in, is that, you know, negativity supersedes the positive experience, right?
Yep.
Um, I've
Yep.
seen, even like when we homeschool. So even doing homeschool with my kid, right? We're going through, hey, look at how you do this, look at how you do this, look at how you do this. And she's like looking at this whole page, and we wrote out all these math problems. And I did a typo on one of them, or I miscalculated. And she's like, "Hey, you got that wrong." And I was like, "Hmm." And it kind of put a different perspective. Looked at the 10 that I got right, and you only found the one I got wrong, right?
Mhm.
And it was a enlightening perspective for me of like, that's what we do in society. And it's like, okay, so how do we counteract that? Well, we kind of got to be able to put ourselves out there and ask for that referral, ask for that review, right? And understand that it it's no different than if somebody, you know asked for some feedback or gave a compliment. Like, it's okay to ask if you did a great job, or even just saying like, "Hey, I'm going to ask for your honest feedback because I want to know how I can get out there more to provide that experience to other people. My whole goal is to help more people."
Yeah. And it can be scary to do that, but the reason why we fixate on negativity and notice that is because we have this reptilian part of our brain from thousands of years ago that says, like, if something is a threat or it's negative, then I'm in danger. I need to get people on my side. I
Yeah.
need to protect myself. But we're not being chased by saber-toothed tigers anymore, right? it's
Yeah.
it's somebody that you sold, sold their house, or you helped them buy a house. You probably did a very good job. And trust me, guys, if you didn't do a good job, you'll probably hear
You
about that
already know about
during
it.
the transaction, right? So at the end, absolutely, hey, how did I do? They're not going to be like, well, everything was great, but your haircut is stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's we
But I think
we
that's a
we
good
come up.
point too. Just keeping it simple the way you just said. Like, "Hey, congratulations, we did the signing, we're shaking hands." Like, "Hey, how did your experience go? I'm
I
just
think I do,
curious.
yeah. And if
How'd
they
I do?
say, yeah, yep,
You did this, you
then
did this,
would
you
you
did this.
mind leaving
Hey,
that review?
if I send you a link, could you just write that out exactly, your honest opinion of how I helped you right here? I'm not." And
Yes.
it's that simple. It's
I'm
a
going to be
ask.
more than happy to do it.
If you don't ask, it's a no. If you ask and they say no, it didn't change. But what if they say
Yeah.
yes? Right? It's
Yeah.
the what if they don't reject you? What if they said
Yes.
yes? We're so afraid of them
Yes.
saying no that we just don't ask.
Exactly. And the other thing is somebody, agents might say, okay, well, fine, I can ask for a review, but they might say yes and then not do it.
Yeah.
That's why I think the icing on the cake here, do it while you're face to face. Find the time, have a little closing celebration. Hey, I picked up a little, bottle of huh, moderately priced champagne or whatever, right? Just clink glasses, congratulations. Hey, listen, how did I do? And then if they say, you did great, say, I don't mean to put you out, but before we leave today, would you mind typing that out in this link? And then let me check it. I'll make sure that, everything goes through and that it's the right account, like whatever. But if you can get them to do it right there, right then, they're not, people
You
always
cut out
think
the
like,
what
well,
if. You cut out the, yeah, I'll get to it. You'll cut out the anything like that. And I think you're right. It's like the moment that you're doing it. Like, when is that moment? When is the right moment?
mhm,
When they're excited, when that feeling's up and they're
celebrating,
joyous and
baby.
celebrating, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you have your tablet right there with it, or maybe you hand them
Yeah.
the phone and say,
Make it
type it.
easy. Yeah, make it easy
Maybe
for
you
them.
just
Make it
say, "Hey,
easy for
can
them.
can I just set up my phone videotaping us as we're going through this celebratory moment?" And maybe you're just asking them like, "Can I
Yes.
get that feedback?" And you use it as a video
Yes.
testimonial.
Yes.
There's so many
And
different
say, yeah,
ways to do it.
you could do that. You could film it And then you could say, hey, can I grab the transcript and then make a little review? I'll send it to you so you can say
Just
that
copy
looks
paste
good,
it.
and just copy, but like you can make it easy. So
Make it
like
so easy for them.
right, right. And so I guess, yeah, like the point is that there's ways to do this, and there's a strategy that will take you less than 5 minutes. But if you do this with every deal you have over a year's time, if you're a producing agent and you get, enough deals per year, and everyone you do comes back with having a 5-star service, or even better, guys, just like Sean has mentioned before, even if you haven't done a transaction with him, did you add value? Did you send him a neighborhood guide? Have you been a resource? And this person's engaging with you. You can ask them, would you mind just leaving me a positive review saying, hey, I was looking for info on this
Just the
neighborhood, and
experience.
just the experience, right? Why not? Like the worst they can say is,
Like if
no,
you're
I'm not
just
going to.
starting, ask the people that you've worked with in the past, right? Hey, can you just, would you mind leaving me an honest review
Yeah.
of my service I've ever
Yes.
provided, the experience of us connecting or
Yes.
anything?
I mean, you could call your friends and family and say, "Hey, look, can you leave me a review that says something to the sort of, every time I have a question about real estate in Greenville, South Carolina, Max is always great. I
I don't even
always
think you
know
need to
I
say
can
real
go to him."
estate. Like, would you mind leaving me a review of like every time I have a question, I this is my go-to person, or
Yeah,
anytime,
very
I
knowledgeable
want
agent, 5 stars. Like it doesn't have to be anything huge, right? And people will do
yeah,
that for you, especially if they support you. I mean, absolutely. And that goes a long way. Google is huge on reputation and reviews.
yeah.
Huge.
Absolutely.
So,
The whole idea is Google wants to keep their audience using Google. So they want to provide other services that are going to allow that to happen. So they're huge on reviews because they want more word of mouth, right? They're huge on reviews because that is the online referral, right?
yeah. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, look, this has been great. I want to make sure from a high level, we do a little recap here. So, again, we're talking about the small actions that lead to the big wins. And the first thing to do, guys, is update your Google business profile every week. Doesn't have to be anything major. A picture, a listing, a short video. I think under 30 seconds you can do videos. And go like respond to your reviews. Just work Google My Business. Take 15
Hmm.
minutes out of your week and do that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Upload your database. Make sure you have all your contacts in your CRM and tag them. Use your tags, because if you use tags the right way, your marketing is better, faster, more efficient, and is going to pay dividends down the road. And might I
And it
add,
lets you
uh,
filter or segment when you want to look for
right.
something.
Exactly. Yes. If you need to find somebody, exactly. So you can do that. If you have Agent Elite, you can hop on with us, or you can go to or is it help.agentelite.com, and right. Yeah, you can go to help.agentelite.com, I believe, and you can type in the search bar what you're looking for. But like a vast resource, pretty much for anybody to check out. So you can definitely do that. And then the next thing, guys, use video replies instead of writing out or typing out texts. This is something that's quick, and you're an agent, you're out there, you're used to being face to face with people. So try that out. A quick, hey, so and so, here's that answer, via bomb or Loom, or however you need to do it. Okay. And then the next, repost your blog to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google Business. This is fairly simple. If you are able to do that, and you can do it automated. Hey, we lost you for a sec, Shauna.
My
Glad you're
power
back.
went down. I had to hop back on. I don't know what happened.
Power power outage. Right on. I'm just finishing up the fourth point, which is reposting the blog to Facebook and LinkedIn and Google Business. And then last but not least, ask for a review every closing. And if you take one thing away from this whole entire Elite Zone live episode, it's ask for a review every single time you engage with somebody and you offer them value. That alone will get you more clients. It will. If you do it
Absolutely.
consistently, that will drive more clients to you. So that's the 5 things we have: the small wins, the big wins from small actions. And I know real estate agents, I know you guys like big wins from small actions, right? Who doesn't? So that's it. Shauna, any parting words for these guys? What do you want them to do this week before next week?
I want them to focus on those small actions, right? It's like pick the one thing that you are going to focus on doing once a week and just keep compounding that, because it's not about doing it once, twice. It's about doing it the 50 times in a row for the next year, right? It's about compounding those little things. That's where you're going to see the success from the consistency.
Awesome, awesome. Love that. So Elite Zone Live, guys. If you are this is the first time you've been or you've tuned in to what we do, who we are, check us out on YouTube. We've got our mother podcast, Elite Zone, which we've got studio episodes of. This is the live version that we've been doing, but we've got all kinds of different content that's literally created to help you become a better, more successful real estate agent, and all the ways to do that. So check us out there, like, subscribe, share this, and hopefully, we see you next week, and we look forward to that. But until then, have a great week, everybody.
Bye.